Hey guys, happy Friday. Happy March 1st. So I know it's been a while. Life happened, things happened, things are happening. So I just want to jump on real quick to pretty much just chat. So as y'all know, if you've been following me, I should say, you should know that I have an embroidery business or embroidery/gift shop business. And I have 5 kids. I'm married. Hey y'all. I'm married. I homeschool all 5 of our children. And it's actually not an easy task. A lot of people think that just because you homeschool or you are a stay-at-home mom, things come easy. Well, they really don't. We have the same, and maybe not the same, but we still have challenges like everyone else. So I believe it's like an assumption. People assume that, oh, you stay at home, it must be, that's nice. I wish I could stay at home. But also people need to understand that what's for you is for you. And it may not be your season to homeschool. It may not be your season to be a stay-at-home mom or parent. So I just wanted to give people some insight about that, because I think that's a misconception when it comes to that. And then also you don't know people's struggles. And sometimes being a homeschool parent, there are struggles, just as well as there's struggles with public school, being a public school parent if your kids go to public school, or being a parent of a child that goes to a Christian school, or I should say a private school or a charter school. By no means is any way better than the other. It's just what God has led you. It's just what God has called you to do. So I just wanted to say, if anyone ever has any questions about homeschooling, by no means am I perfect at it, but we have been doing it for, hang on. So my son is 14. He's the oldest. So that's the one thing. I'll normally answer any questions that you all have pertaining to homeschool. I try not to keep anybody out in the dark, because some people are just, so homeschooling is way more than how it was during the pandemic. A lot of people think that I sit with my kids on tablets and I have this kid here and this kid here and we're homeschooling. Is for us, for our family, it does not work like that. For other people, maybe so, but not for us. Who's this? Hey, Lakeisha. Hey, MK Crafts. Hey, Sandy. So for us, that's not how we homeschool. Sometimes it's more not as traditional as some people would think. Other times it's traditional. Like, our kids definitely need to know how to sit down and pay attention and be obedient and listen. Other times it's more of a hands-on day. And then some days it's a catch-up day. Like, we just were not able to get it done on that specific day, or somebody had a meltdown, or somebody was just not into it that day. I mean, let's face it. Us as adults, there are days we don't feel like adulting. The only difference is sometimes I feel like us as adults with children, you have to adult no matter what, because you have someone relying on you 24/7. If you don't have children, sometimes you can get away with just not adulting that day, I guess. You could just kind of take a breather, but it's not always that easy when you have children, and especially being a parent of multiple children. And everybody has a different personality, as they should. I don't think I could actually deal with the same personality from all 5 children. I don't think I could do that. So I definitely love the fact that they have all different personalities, and I definitely love the fact that they have different strengths and different weaknesses. And some things they do share in common. And adulting is, if I could, I was talking to someone the other day that, just don't grow up, like don't adult. But that's not possible because you start off as an infant, a baby. And even though my kids don't believe I was a kid once, I think that was the same with my mom. Like my mom used to always say, I used to be a kid once. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I've only known you as an adult. So it's hard for kids to conceptualize that. But being the fact that, I used to be a kid just like them, I'm like, man, you don't have to pay bills. You don't have to go to the, you can go to the grocery store with your parents, but it's not like you have to pay for the grocery store bill. And you don't have to have as much responsibility. So it's like parents do everything in the beginning stages of life. You do everything for your kids. So it's like they don't have to do anything. But as they start to grow up and become mature and become their own person, it's kind of bittersweet. That's what you want. You want for them to understand themselves so that when they get out in the real world, they know exactly who they are and they won't get walked over or mistreated. Now, don't get it twisted. There are going to be people that are not going to be for you and going to be against you, but that's okay. What's up, Cindy? You have a question? I'm trying to check back and forth. So, but yeah, I just wanted to get on. I haven't been on in a while. And there are some new things in the works. Right now, I'm actually sitting in my craft room, which has finally complete. It took some time, took some discipline. So miss you too, Sandy. But it's all done now. And so honestly, I have not worked in it. I will say all this week I have not worked in it because I don't want to mess it up, but I know I'm going to have to work in it. So I'm probably going to work on one small project today and then just kind of roll myself into it and get on a better schedule. But life has been crazy. Everybody is good though here. Everybody's healthy. The kids are doing great. My son, he's my oldest. He's doing great. I'm actually also working 2 other jobs on top of homeschooling and crafting. So it's been kind of a trying to figure it all out. Just trying to figure it all out. Oh, thanks, Keisha. We miss you too. Yes, I do. I miss. It was just, I think it was a point of transition. At least for me, I can't speak on anybody else that we haven't seen on YouTube for a while, but it was a point of transition. I needed to take a break. I needed to decompress. I needed to make sure that my kids were, like, I was giving my children enough attention and just trying to, like, I guess, get a schedule down. That's the hardest part, the schedule, I believe. But once you have it, you have it. But things do pop up, and then a plan of action when things pop up, which I did not have. I personally like doing lives. I do not like editing. I can edit. I just don't like it. And maybe it's I just don't like it just because I feel like it's time consuming, but I know that the finished product is so worth it. It's almost like building a house or starting a business. Like, you have to go through all these steps, but in the end, it was so worth it. Yes. Yes. And I always mess your name up. I want to say it's Nario. It's just some people hit a time of transition and other people are still like going zero to boom. Like they can keep up with that fast pace, and they may or may not hit a brick wall or plateau. But for me, when it gets so chaotic and I'm like, okay, I'm forgetting things, I can't think, I can't do this, it's like, okay, you need to slow down. And I think that's the difference between also people like living in the city versus living in the country. It's so much of a slower pace in the country. The city, I feel like, to a point, it can stress you out because sometimes you're sitting in traffic for an hour and a half. That's just one way. And you only, say for instance, you only have one job, your main job. And technically sitting in traffic sometimes can be a part-time job that you're not even getting paid for. But maybe that one job is compensating you very well. So you have to weigh the benefits for you and your family. For me, I am gearing towards and growing towards a slower pace. But also when I grew up, the city I lived in, I didn't feel like it was fast paced per se. But when we go back now, my husband's like, 3 days max, we got to go. Because it's a lot more people have come there, and where I'm from, it's like 7 cities of the military. So you put the people who live there, then on top of that, the military, it's like, I think over 1 million people in that location. So it can be crazy. I mean, I don't want to say it's almost like New York City, because New York City, like, you find any and everything there. But I don't have to want for like what I need. Like, you can find anything you want there as well. So yeah, so it was just like, I think I just needed to reset and really figure out what it is I want to do. And I'm still in a bit of transition on what I wanted to do, but I think I've narrowed it down, and that's coming soon. I won't disclose it yet, just because I want to make sure that it is what I need for that season. And that season for me could last 3 years. It could last 10 years. It could last 20 years. I don't know. So I'm just pretty much just on chill. I'm kind of on pilot mode right now. But I was like, while I have a moment, let me jump on here and do a quick live. My live was only supposed to be 5 minutes. I'm like at 13, but it's all good because it was a catch-up day, and no one's actually knocking on my door yet. Let me not talk that up. But yeah, it's just, I'm just trying to figure like what I really want to hone into. And thanks, Cindy. What I really want to hone into, and like making sure that I'm still present with my kids, because my kids only have let's think about it. Your kids are only a kid for 18 years, and then the rest of their life they're an adult. That's crazy. Like, you're only an infant for a certain amount of time. You're only a toddler for a certain amount of time. You're only, like, I guess a preschooler, we'll throw that in there, for a certain amount of time. And then let's just throw in kindergartner. And then from there, you're just a kid. And then when you hit 18, that's it. And then young adult. And then after that, you're just straight an adult for the rest of your life. And so I want to make sure that my kids like remember the things that I do with them, like baking cookies and cooking dinners and showing them how to cook. So when they get out in the real world, they're a beast. Like, they know, okay, this is what you have to do to survive. Like, nobody's going to hand this to you. And if they do, it's 9 times out of 10, it's because they want something in return. And so, hey, Michelle, I want my kids to be well prepared. So I guess I'll go over that in a different live. Like, I think that maybe gave me something else to touch base on, because a lot of people asking me all the time, how do you get your kids to do this? And how do you get your kids to do? It's really a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Like, for real, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I am not perfect. My kids are not perfect. My kids show out. Yeah, they do. They are children. But at the same time, I, being their mother and my husband being their father, like, we have to show them guidance, and we have to show them grace, and we have to teach them that's, like, my kids are technically not my kids. My kids belong to God. My kids belong to the Lord. And so I just have them for a short period of time. And so with that short period of time, I need to be doing all that I need to do. And sometimes I'm beating myself up, not literally, but figuratively. I cannot say that word today. It's been a day. But it's because, I'm trying to be the best of the best of the best. And the reality of it is God's given me grace, and you do what you can do. And you do the most you can do. And some days, as a mom, you're exhausted. Like, you don't want to go to the park. You don't want to take your kids, to the mall. We don't do mall trips as much as when I was a kid, just because I feel like the mall is overpriced. That's just my opinion. Oh no. Is that the one, Cindy, that has a girlfriend that you posted? Did, like, he proposed to her? I want to say he did, but I don't want to be wrong. Yes, learning the basics, teaching them is the things they need to know is hard, and it is a lot to learn. And my thing is, my kids know you learn when you're little how to do laundry, because the reality of it is, when you hit 16, I technically have 2 years, right? Because at 18, either you're going to college, you're going to the military, or maybe even at 17. It just depends on, I guess, when your birthday is. But for my kids, you're either going to college, you're going to the military, you're going into the real world and just getting a regular job, or you're going to trade school, right? In 2 years, that's not enough. There's 365 days. Normally, this is leap year. Normally in a year, right? So you times that by 2, that's not enough days or time for me to fit in everything. Because it's like, if I were to do it that way, okay, then we're going to have to toss something out. Like, I got to teach you real life skills and nothing else. Like, it takes a lot. Like, we cook every day. So with us cooking every day, my kids are in the kitchen with me 9 times out of 10. Really, right now, my son cooks dinner. I'm just like, okay, we're having spaghetti. Get out the ingredients. I don't even really tell him what to do. Sometimes I do hover, I'm not even gonna lie, over him to make sure he's doing it right, and to make sure, like, everything's done, because I'm not trying to have food poisoning, like like the food's not cooked right, but he, honestly, jokes aside, he does really well. Like, and he will watch me. Like, one, my son loves to eat, and, like, he's been in the kitchen for a minute now. So whenever I'm starting to cook something, he's, like, right there by me. I'm like, why are you? But he wanted to learn how to cook. I didn't even really have to force him or make him be like, hey, you need to cook this. Like, he wants to cook. Like, it's even to the point, like, he's like, well, Mom, can I cook right now? I'm like, no, because we have a gas oven. And so I do try to be more detailed, like, make sure I'm right there with him, and, like, right somewhere in close proximity, because it is actually an open fire. So, but other than, like, he's like, get the littles out the kitchen, Cyril. Like, he be on it. Now, Cyril's my baker. Hang on, I missed something. Oh no, 2 months from 16, don't. Okay. I don't know why I thought like he gave her a ring. I don't know. Like, but my brain is mush. So I don't know what I was thinking. Um, but, oh, sorry, my phone moved. But, it's so crazy. Like, and my son's like, can I get a job this year? Like, I'll be 15. And I'm like, man, and there's nothing against, okay, so a little bit of background. I guess I'll touch back up on this too for another live. But nothing against fast food. But my husband honestly does not want my son working. He doesn't want, honestly, any of my kids doing fast food. Not because fast food isn't like a great learning experience, but I guess I'm telling my age now. We like kind of old school, and like I did fast food, and I mean I turned out great. My husband has never worked in a fast food joint his entire life. He bucked hay. He worked at a lumber yard. He did like get your hands in the dirt. Like, God gave you these hands, let's work. So my son's like, oh, like he like a little nervous if he does ask to work at fast food, because he'll be like, you didn't wash your hands, go back in the bathroom. No, that's not the right way to, instead of like being an employee, I'm like, I don't know if fast food is right for him. He's still trying to figure out what he wants to do. We've asked him if he wanted to go work with his dad, and at one point he said yes. But I don't know. I give my kids 4 choices. I never push college on my kids, only because college is great. Also, real world experience is great. Now, sometimes if you do just real world experience, it could take you longer to build the type of salary or income you want. And then sometimes it may not. It just all depends on what you want for your life. And I feel like at this point, I would have raised my kids for 18 years. See, I just talked somebody up. Wait. Yes. Sarah should have some upstairs.
I can't find any.
Ask Sarah to show you because y'all took some out of my room. Okay? All right. Thank you. And so, close my door, please. Willow. Thank you. And she straight popped my lock. Like, but I never forced that. Now, obviously, if you're gonna want to be a doctor, lawyer, nurse, teacher, those are the things that you have to go to school for. Like, there's no way out. But for trades and anything else, I'm all for it. Like, that's my thing. As long as you pick the 4th thing, because who am I to tell you? And I know it kind of depends culturally, but I am not, in my culture and in my husband, like, we are not forcing our kids. Like, you have to be a doctor. No, because one, you're not going to be, if I force you, you're not going to be happy. Excuse me. No. In a second. Okay. Yes. So, and that's another thing. Like, I'm trying to teach my kids, hey, there is I don't want to say a proper time to interrupt, but like my kids love to interrupt me, and then But anyways, so I give them 4 options because you have a choice. This is your life. I cannot live your life for you. Only you can live your life. Yes. Did your dad and I create you? We did. I was the incubator, and God technically created you. But this is your life, and I want you to live your life according to what God has in store for you, not what I have in store for you. You don't need to please me. You need to please God. And that's just how we roll over here. And so, let's see. Hey, Ma. I know when I was in West Virginia, Michelle, there are a lot of people who work fast food and they are like addicts. Six brownie boxes. Thanks, Sandy. Yeah, I mean, my daughter, she has been able. Oh, MK Crafts, she will remember. She'll remember to do the stuff that you've taught her. My daughter her thing is pancakes. She is the pancake queen. And I think to a point she gets that from me, but she also gets that from her grandfather, what we call him Pops. Is my dad. He's no longer with us. He passed away before she was born. And but she can put down some pancakes. Like, I remember this girl one day, our waffle iron broke. Like, that's how much we used the waffle iron. It just straight said, I'm not cooking for y'all no more. I'm done. She could put down 4 Belgian waffles. Like, Sarah. And she's like this big. I'm like, where is this food going? No, Mom, I didn't get your message. I will check it when I get off of here. I think that's awesome, Michelle. Like, if they're offering free college, like, by all means take it. So if my kids were offered that, or we did dual enrollment, we're still thinking about that. I would say take it because it's free. It's not like they're going to be in debt. If they're giving it to them for free, I mean, that's like a no-brainer. So even if my son he graduated and then did 2 years of free college and then said, okay, I want to go to the trade school for 2, I'm all for it. I just want him to be able to like make his own decisions. Like, at some point I have to release, like, completely cut that umbilical cord. I mean, it's been cut, but like for real cut, and let him do him, because he's gonna have to learn. I mean, that's just what it is. Yeah, my mom. So I wasn't forced to go to college, but I was very highly encouraged. Yes, my mom. So okay. So I'll do a little bit another background, and I'll probably like add to this one too. So I wasn't forced to go to school, but in the time that myself and my husband grew up, school was really like the thing. It was like, go to college so you can be successful. Go to college so you technically you could take care of yourself. Like, it was a big thing. And in all Black family, it was like the thing, because with African Americans and the Black culture, it wasn't always, we weren't always able to go to school. So we didn't always have the opportunity. And so for my parents, and my mom, she'll chime in if I'm wrong, but I think they were all about like, make sure you get your degree. Because that's the one thing someone can't take away from you is your education. No one can take away how much I know. Only, I can choose how much I want to learn. And so I was the first one to go and graduate. And my husband and I, we were talking about this the other day. But my husband always says, Tosh, like, and I'm like, I don't even do anything with my career or with my degree. And he's like, you do. You teach our kids. So, like, I have 2 degrees. A lot of people don't know that about me. I have 2. I'm not going to tell you what the other one is. But I do have 2 degrees. My first degree, I have a degree. And Mom, don't you tell anybody either, because she will straight say it. My first degree was in mass communication, television, broadcast, and journalism. And like, I loved it. Like, I loved it. And so I was like, that's what I want to go to school for. Like, I didn't want to be a doctor. Honestly, I'm like, not that I didn't like blood and guts, but like, me being responsible, like even if I would decide to become a surgeon or something, like in a sense, I have someone's life in my hands and the scalpel. I mean, yes, God is God in my hands. And I didn't feel like he had that calling for me. So, but that's what I wanted to do. And like, I loved it. But then I met my husband and I loved him and I still love him. And, we started a family together. So, and actually I did work for a production studio in South Carolina for a little bit. And so I learned a lot there. But then it was like life happened. I had kids and I got a different degree, and I'll touch on that on a different day. But it was great. And I understood why my parents, because like if something would have happened to my husband in the military, because my husband was prior military, then I needed to also be able to take care of myself if that were to ever happen. And just in general, like if anything were to happen to my husband, I need to be able to take care of myself. I need to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. And I don't think that was never an issue. And my mom will tell you, like, I always had a job. I may not always have money because I would spend it, but I always had a job. And I always made sure I was good. And if my mom needed something, like, she was good. Like, that's just what it was. Yes, I was the first in the family to go to college and graduate. My dad actually went, but he didn't graduate. I think he like stopped like his sophomore, junior year. He was like halfway or like 3/4 of the way. Cause me and him, we had a talk about that. And I think when I was going there, I think like he knew the president, of the college I was going to. Like they went to high school or something together. But I mean, that's what, I think, it just depends on the person. And I think people who wait to go to school, like if my husband, he doesn't have a college degree, and he makes more money than I would have made with both my degrees, which is crazy. But he had to work for it. But this is like, if he were to go back to school right now, my husband probably have straight A's because he has the life experiences. And I always tell him, it's like, if you were to go to school right now, you would like have straight A's because you have the common sense, you have the book smarts, you have the street smarts. It all meshes. So you would have no issue. The only thing is like you having to report to a class to listen to somebody tell you what to do, or online. And then that's the point, you got to remember to log on and stuff. But he would have no problem. We joke about this all the time. And the joke is like, it's serious what we're joking, but I'm like, dude, if you were to go to school, he's like, I don't know if I want to go to school now. Like, I'm good at what I do, so yes, like, right. And it's crazy, yeah, 3 jobs. One time I was working 3 jobs. I think actually one time I was working, when my husband met me, I was working 5 jobs. I don't think my mom knew it was 5, but it was 5. Because I was so tired one night. My mom, and at the time, Brian and I were just dating. I was coming home from school, and he was waiting for me because this is when I think when Medea first hit the theaters. It was a while ago. And I fell asleep and crashed my car. And like my husband, when he got the phone call from one of my friends, because one of my friends was like, they didn't want to pull over. Like I heard, this was after the fact, her husband was driving and he was like, we need to help that person. She was like, I don't know that person. You better keep driving. And when he pulled over, he noticed it was me when he got up close to the car. And he was like, oh my gosh, it's Tasha. And so she was like, what? And like they're freaking out. And I'm just like, what is going on? And they called my mom. And Brian almost left my mom. He was at the dining room table. He's already out the door. My mom's like, wait, I need my keys to my purse. He's he's almost left her to come get me. That was the funny part of it. But I was okay. Everything was okay. I got another vehicle. It was all good. Yeah, I'll tell y'all that story. Like, we got stories for days. Let me see. I think I missed something. Oh, Cindy, you've done both? That's pretty cool. How did you like going back to college at 24 at MK Crafts? Okay. I just want to make sure I got it. Yeah, he like so I guess I'll maybe make like I don't want to say a diary thing, but like when I go live again. So my husband's thing, maybe we'll do like a Q&A with him one day. So his thing was he always says he knew he was going to marry me from the day he met me. I always be like, but that's what he says. Like, and he is not straight from that since day one. We have it's probably about like a 30 to 40 minute story about like how we met and all that good stuff. But yeah, he's a keeper. This year will be 20. We've known each other for 22 years, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Actually, no. Yeah, 22 years. I met him in 2002. So it's absolutely mind-blowing that, because I didn't grow up with him, like we didn't go to the same school or anything. He lived literally an hour and a half from me. And I have a friend that literally lives down the street from me. And her family is from like a town or two over where he's from, which is crazy because I had went like to my friend's where she's from a couple times, but like we never crossed paths. It's crazy how that worked. You will, Michelle. You will. You got to put it out there. Yeah, I get it. And I think like for some kids that like some people who go to college, like I think the one reason why some don't finish is because the mentality is not there. So like when you're 18, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to school, but I get to party too. So it's like you get to live, I don't want to say a double life, but you get to party and you have to go to school. So you got to figure out how to balance all this time without getting, sidetracked with parties and, oh, you want to go here? We can just skip class today. Like, we got the syllabus. So then it's like, okay, you fast forward 6 years, 18 or 24, fast forward still 6 years. It's like, you've done some maturing. And some people are mature enough to handle it. They're like, okay, I'm about my business. I'm not a party person. I never wanted to be a party person. I just want to get these books done and be in and out. So I feel like it depends on where you are in your life. Like, if you are really ready. Some people need to work in the real world and be like, okay, this is not what I want. Let me go get this degree so I can do what I actually want. Oh yeah. And then the funny part is my mom, she almost like she straight fussed Brian out one day. This was before we got married. I'm gonna have to leave that for another day too. Cause me and Brian, we sit and we reminisce about when we first got together. And my mom was like, she lit into him. She was like, oh no. She's like, I got words for him. And me and Brian, we laugh about it now. But yeah, Bride definitely kept his word. There's a couple of times I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I was like, because my mom, she always would tell me, you don't rely on a man. You gotta do what you need to do. I'm like, okay. And, I was thinking like he was lying, like, whatever, you saying the same. I already heard this. okay. But no, he was serious, and like to this day, that's what he does. Like Brian works to provide for us, to make sure we're good. Like he will take the shirt off of his back and give it to somebody who really needs it. That's just how he's always been. Like he don't care. I used to get on him a lot about, he would see a homeless person and he would, like, Brian used to have, he doesn't anymore, I guess because times have evolved, but he used to have all this change in his cup holder in his car. And I remember one day he took all that change, dumped it into I don't know where a Ziploc bag. I don't even know how we had a Ziploc bag, but whatever. Like one of the sandwich bags, he dumped all of it in there and he gave it to this homeless man. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I don't even know this guy. Like I just had a kid and like you're stopping on the side of the road. Like he's like, Tasha, it's all good. It's coins. He needed it. We don't need it as much as he does. So I'm like, what? So that's just him. I don't know. Brian's always been like that. I feel blessed to be able to be his wife. Do we always see eye to eye? No. Do I get on his nerves? Yes. Do he get on my nerves? Yes. But we jive. Like he's my yin and I'm his yang. That's just what it is. But yeah. So I'm gonna have to do a follow-up to like how we met and stuff. I'll see if he wants to do like a Q&A in a few days or something. Or we set it up. My stomach's growling. I'm hungry. If he wants to do like a Q&A on like how we met and stuff. So yeah. So I started off with homeschool. I kind of went all over. Like y'all got like a whole little snippet of my life. Just like that. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to roll out, guys. I need to we were invited. Yes, my mom, him and my mom are like this. My husband and my mom. And my mom only listens to my husband. She don't even listen to me. So I literally have to tell Brian, like, hey, if I really want my mom to do something, I have to tell Brian. And then he'll tell her. What sense does that make? Mom, you don't even listen to me. But yeah, my mom loves Brian. Like she absolutely adores Brian. He loves my mom. Yeah, he was talking about her. What was it? Was it this morning? No, it was last night. He was like, yeah, everybody can't have a mother-in-law like mine. I was like, okay, bro. But yeah, we were invited, I think, to go to the park today. So I'm gonna take the kids to the park. They've worked their butts off this week. They helped me clean the house and stuff. So I said, all right. So we're gonna probably head to the park, and then I've got to get some budgeting done. Budgeting and finances. The adulting part, not fun. I always tell my husband, you can take over this part if you want. He never does. So I'm stuck with it. Stuck like Chuck. No, Michelle. Well, I've heard like a lot of people would say, oh, hang on. I think it's supposed to be like 60 today, Mom. And when I went out there earlier, it wasn't like cold. Like I was good with the sweatshirt on. But I've heard like, to avoid most of the pesticides, buy organic. I'm not saying that as like I'm just saying buy organic. I don't buy everything organic. I'll tell you straight up. Someone just asked me the other day about blueberries. I was like, the pesticide content in blueberries is high. Honestly, I still buy them. I pray over my food. I soak them. I either use a veggie soak or or like vinegar and baking soda. Wait a second. You gotta wait. I'm still on. Yes, tell Sissy to cut you up some muffins. I have these muffins that I make. I normally make them, but the little muffin, like the little paper thing you fill the muffins in with, they always get stuck. So it's more like a cake, but it's a muffin cake. And so I do that. When I can buy organic, I do. Like about 3 weeks ago, I think there were organic blueberries for like $2.99 for like 18 or 24 ounces, which was a really good deal. And so we stocked up on those. But yeah, I have not heard, honestly, I don't watch the news like that. I only know like if somebody tells me. Yeah, I wish like we had a blueberry, to be honest, a blueberry bush, but we don't. My kids absolutely love blueberries. But yeah, that's normally how I do it. I try, like I said, when I can buy organic, I do. Right now, I just like with the prices of food, I'm just trying to like get what we can get. And so I do pretty good. Like last week, I think we spent $175. Hang on a second. Excuse me, no ma'am.
You have two, one.
You can have two.
Okay.
I normally try to yeah, Mom, that's why we don't even watch it. But like I said, I like my grocery bill last week was I think $175. I went over. I didn't really want to spend $175, but we did. And then the week before that was like $114, but then I had to go back, so it was like $145. So I've been trying to keep it like right there, because I wanted to kind of cut my grocery bill in half. Literally, I think we've almost cut it into, well, yeah, I won't say 3/4, but yeah, about in half. Because we were spending money on groceries and out to eat, and so we chopped the out to eat. Excuse me, please do not. Why do you have that on your arm?
On it, somebody poked me.
Something poked you. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, can you give me a moment and I'll be out there? Okay, go with Will. You say, hey, Nana.
Hey, Nana.
No, you just can't see her. It's not FaceTime, okay? Go get your bread, okay? Go ahead. So that's just how I do it lately. I just get the fruit. I know it's probably part of the Dirty Dozen and I think it's Dirty Dozen and then Clean 15 or whatever. Close my door, please. Lazarus. And that's just what we roll with, and then we just pray about it. I mean, at this point, I was going to farmers market, but something I found out, even though you're getting your food from farmers market, if they're if it's not a truly organic seed, then it's not organic, whether they use the pesticides or not. So I mean, oh, hang on, I missed that. Yeah, that's what we did, Michelle. I know, he grew a lot. So like with our blueberries, like blueberries on sale again this week. Like blueberries have been on sale for like, I think almost 4 weeks straight. I think they missed a week, but it's been very consistent. So if we don't eat it, we just go ahead and freeze it. So now I have stuff for smoothies. So I've been kind of recycling it into the deep freezer. And then I normally put them in canning jars or mason jars. They keep longer. I don't know what it is, but it definitely keeps longer. Versus if it's just out and open, like in those, what they give you, or if we put them in a Ziploc bag after we clean them, they don't keep as long. But the mason jars definitely work now. Takes up more room in my refrigerator, but if I don't get around to it right away, then it's still good, and then I put it in the deep freezer. Like I think we still have blueberries, and I told the kids, I said, we did a lesson on blueberries and my stomach is growling, sorry guys. Blueberries. We did a lesson on how we grocery shop, and I asked the kids yesterday, I said, do we need blueberries? I was like, no. I said, but can we use them? And they were like, yes. And I was like, can we freeze them? And they were like, yes. I said, so we're getting them. So, I mean, it's not like it's going to go bad, and it helps us. We might as well be good stewards of our money right now versus buying it when it's at a higher price. That's just, no. And I have 7 people to feed, and that's just, like, this is how we keep up. I think so, Mom, but I honestly, I don't even use all the mason jars. I'll take some of the spaghetti jars. Solly cleans them out. He takes the paper off of it and cleans the outside of the jar too, and then we just pop the top back on it. And the other day when we popped it off, it was like you could hear like it was still the freshness seal, even though I didn't seal it. I just screwed the top on. Yes, did you get your bread? Last.
Yes.
No, I said hi.
Hi.
Okay, go eat your bread, please.
I want to see you.
You want to see me?
Yeah.
And so, that's just, I guess that's just how it works. So I just do use spaghetti jars, Mom. But it's been working for us.
Oh, yay.
Oh, yay. And so that's what I've been using. I use it for a salad. I use it because the whole thing was we were going to do a salad in a jar. But we didn't get around to doing the salad in a jar, so I put the lettuce in the jar, and it stays fresh too. Like, it doesn't turn all pink, moldy. So that's what we've been doing. So that's our little survival technique right now. So yeah. Oh, low battery. You know, Mama always. Yeah. So I try, and sometimes that's nice to know, MK. I didn't know that. So we'll probably that's what we've been trying to do. And then I try to cook. So if we make like these muffin things, the goal is for me to make them and then freeze them. So I've been doing step by step. So I normally do all my dry ingredients and then I bag them up. And then when I'm ready to cook it, I'll do the wet ingredients and then we'll cook. And so I'm slowly and surely getting to that point where, okay, we're going to cook it, then freeze it. Because I could just take it out that morning or the night before, and it can thaw out, and then the kids already have their muffins. Because I refuse to pay $5 for muffins at the store and only get 4 of them. And I understand that they're big, but I'm not paying that. When I have all the ingredients here, it just makes no sense. Yes. Nana said, did you save her some? You don't mess with that.
Yes.
He's telling me some yes. He didn't say you know. And I kid you not, we have not thrown out any of those muffins. Don't do that. That is my machine. No. We did not throw out any of the muffins yet. Everybody has eaten all the muffins. And I've made probably over 20 to 25 batches.
The man.
Who is it?
Can we get 2 parts?
Yes. Yes. You get 2. 2.
Okay. I'll see you later.
2.
I'll be back. Bye-bye.
That's Willow.
Yeah.
But that's yes, and I know what's in them. So, and some of my ingredients I'm trying to switch over to organic. So like now I don't want to pay $11.99 for organic flour. And it's on sale right now for $7.99. So I told the kids, yeah, I'm gonna go over budget. Because I want that flour. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll just have to splurge. Yeah, my mom cooks too. Like, she cooks ridiculous. A lot. And we'll just splurge, not really, but get the flour I want. Now, it's not the flour that I technically want, but it's still organic. The other one that I actually want is like $11.99, and I refuse to pay it because it's not on sale. So I'll get the one that is on sale this time, and then when the other one goes on sale, I'll get that one. So we literally go through a bag of flour a week. bag of flour a week. So I was paying like $2.99 for flour now, and I bumped it up to $7.99. So I'm like, but hey, the kids eat it, and I'm like, well, if they're eating it, it's great. So yeah. So I guess I'll get back on here and maybe I'll do a live when I'm cooking the muffins one day. I don't know. Yeah. And that's what it is. Well, guys, my phone's about to die, so I'm really... no, sir, you do not touch the machine. No. My phone's about to die, and I want to make sure that this video gets saved. So I am going to say I'm going to at least try to do a live once a week. Maybe I'll do it on Fridays, because Fridays is our slack day. Not really slack, but I don't have much going on. So I'm going to plan is what I was trying to say. No. I'm going to plan for next Friday. I don't know if it's gonna be the same time, but at least it'll be on a Friday. So you too, Sandy. You have a great day. 25 flour for bulk and 25 pounds. Michelle, I think I'm friends with you on Messenger or Instagram. Message me. There's a lady I do know, and she used to buy bulk, and I think it was organic. There is a place, but you have to get it shipped to you. So message me, and then I'll let you know. And then I'll try to remember to let y'all know next Friday. But I don't remember the name of the company. But she gets it in bulk, and she said it's cheaper that way. I just didn't have nothing to put all that flour into right now. She uses the like paint buckets at one point with the seal lid. I think you can get them from like Lowe's. Like you wash them out and put it in like that, I think. But let me ask her. Let me ask her, and then just message me. All right, y'all. Love y'all too. Yeah. And y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's Friday and the 1st of March. And I think it's Dr. Seuss Day or something like that, right? All right. Bye, guys. Say yeah.